Welcome back. Hospice of Michigan needs your help. They are looking for volunteers. We've got Jody Vandlerberg live in studio with us this morning with how you can help. Thanks so much for being here early,
Thank you
Jody.
for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you all are looking for volunteers, also known as companions,
Yes,
right?
yes. I mean, we're looking for all types, but primarily we have a need for companions, caregiver relief. Like I said in the earlier segment, anyone who has maybe a pet that's looking for, the pet doesn't jump very much and is kind of like a little bit calm, that can provide a great companion to some of our patients.
I think that is such a great idea because many of us, I think, you kind of know when your pet is like, it brings that calmness.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maybe it can help bring that to other people. Can you tell us about Hospice of Michigan and the services that you all offer?
Yeah, so Hospice of Michigan, we are a part of a North Star Care community. So we are actually the largest hospice agency in the Lower Peninsula. We serve on average about 100 patients a year. And so we have an office in this area in Grand Rapids and Muskegon. And so that's why I'm here today to look for and to put a call out for some volunteers in that North Muskegon, Montague, Spring Lake, Whitehall areas, because we have an increase of patients in that area. And so we are looking for some volunteers to help pretty much be a part of their care team and provide that companionship.
And I'm so excited that you said you've already gotten a couple of calls this morning after our first segment. We're seeing video now kind of showing some of the different ways that people can volunteer. Some people might hear this and think, oh, this is an intense volunteer ask, but this could be a matter of just sitting with someone, right?
Oh, yeah, and it's not, and it really isn't that intense. If you look at it, think of it just as being a friend. I mean, just sitting, like me and you sitting here, just talking. You know, volunteers I'll give an example. My dad loved Johnny Cash. So volunteers can go and like just play like Johnny Cash's greatest hits. Wow. And sit with them and have a conversation about like, what is that song?
And what does it mean to you?
Do you have a memory about that? Something as simple as that, playing like, you know, Go Fish. Watching Wheel of Fortune, just anything that just to be present with that patient can actually mean the world to them.
Yeah, I want to talk more about that because these are really sort of small tasks that you can do, but like you said, play a really big role. And can you talk about that? You mentioned earlier how these volunteers are part of the care team.
Yeah, they are. They are part of their care team. They go on the patient's chart.
Wow.
So we do ask that the volunteers have to provide some documentation, but it's really easy for them to sign up. They undergo a simple orientation. They do have to get fingerprinted, and we have to run a background screen so that we can, you know, say we vetted this volunteer. But it's very simple. And the most important thing is volunteering. It's flexible. It's not you have to volunteer at, you know, this particular time, this day of the week. We are flexible, and we work with the patient and the caregiver to make it worthwhile and the right fit for each family.
That's good to know that you can make it work with your schedule and not a whole lot of requirements either. You're just looking for those 18 and older.
Yes, 18 and older, and like I said, anybody who is you know, wants to maybe provide that little extra, just reach out to us. I mean, again, they can go to Hospice of Michigan, which is HOM.org/volunteer, fill out an application like those few did earlier, and I will reach out to them directly and you know, and talk to them and just kind of talk them through the process. It's very easy, but I think overall the reward is huge, not just for the volunteer, but as well for the patient.
Yeah, another really important aspect of this is the idea is to help give caregivers a bit of a break, right?
Yeah, you know, a lot of our volunteers, they look for that. How can they help? Where's that void that they're missing? And a lot of our patients are cared for by family members 24/7.
It's a big
responsibility. And because this is something, you know, this is one of their most important things that's going on in their life, which is their end of life. So that family and that caregiver doesn't want that member to be left alone.
Right.
So a volunteer can step in and let that caregiver go to their own doctor's appointments,
Right.
go to their own dentist appointments, so that they're not missing taking care of themselves
Right.
to recharge, so that they can be present 100% for that.
That is so important.
That care
I mean,
for
because
their
you even
patient.
mentioned just letting them get out to take a walk, have a minute to themselves.
I mean, go visit a friend, go have breakfast with somebody, just to kind of decompress and take their mind off of the situation that they're in all the time. That's so important, so they don't get overworked by what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, until you're in that situation, you don't realize what a big job it is to be
for sure.
a caregiver.
Yeah.
You talked about that you all are putting out this call for volunteers because there's a bigger need now. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it fluctuates, but the need is always there. I mean, it's always there. But primarily, like I said, we're seeing a bigger need in that Muskegon area, like that Whitehall, Spring Lake. It's a little bit more rural, so some of those volunteers we are looking to maybe drive just a little bit. That's why we're looking to concentrate around those areas.
Yeah.
But the need is always there. And what a lot of people don't know is under hospice, and we are a nonprofit, volunteer, it's a requirement. So the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services, they do require that part of the patient's care plan, it's fulfilled with a volunteer. So that is one of the reasons why we seek the volunteers, because they're needed. They're a part, not only it's a requirement, but they are there for the need of the patient.
Yeah, I mean, and playing such an important role too. Give us the details one last time if people want to sign up so that they can become a volunteer.
Go to Hospice of Michigan, which is hom.org/volunteer, fill out an application, and I personally will reach out to you either today or tomorrow. Whenever I get the application, I'll reach out to them right away, and we'll talk through it, and we'll talk about the requirements and everything that we need.
Yeah, sounds like a simple and quick process, but a very important one nonetheless. Jody, really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're back right after this.